Okay, it's time. Let's move out. Tomorrow, well, we've got a fight on our hands. Let's do this. First time was on a Sunday, too. And yeah, even that means no social links today. We are going straight into the action.
I've located the target. It's in the plaza in front of Iwatodai Station.
Oh, the station again? That's actually similar to the first one.
This will be the 10th. Only a few left. But let's worry about them one at a time.
Unless, of course, they come twice.
Assuming they come one at a time. Just kidding.
And Yukari took the words right out of my mouth. Forgot she did that.
Yukari-chan, how did you know? I sensed 2 of them.
So, 10th and 11th, we're really going through these.
Are you serious? Me and my big mouth.
That feel when you make a joke about something and then it turns out to actually come true.
Where's Shinji?
He just notified me that he'll meet up with you later. I didn't ask any questions.
You didn't? The last time someone was not present in the meeting, they'd been kidnapped.
Figures. He's always played by his own rules.
It's okay. At least he's coming, right?
That's what everyone thought when you weren't coming, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, not like someone I know who missed last time.
Hello, I was tied up, remember?
And that's exactly why I'm saying that you should all actually be more concerned here.
Gee, give a guy a break.
Wait, Ken-kun isn't here either. Hey, Junpei, go get him. That'll be your punishment for last time.
Well, I would say it's a bad thing that Junpei is missing 2 full moons in a row, but he's actually not that well suited for this one, so...
Punishment? What is this, kindergarten? That little shit is more trouble than he's worth.
All right, let's move out. This time, there are 2 enemies.
Mitsuru's reveling in the fact that she gets to say something like that again. She hasn't in a while due to not being the navigator.
We'll determine our formation once we arrive.
Okay, let's go.
There they are!
That's a weird noise.
This is the way we go to school. We've got to protect this place.
It's kind of the first I've heard about that. I thought that they all got to school by train.
It seems like they've been waiting for us.
I mean, this is the station, but anyway.
Where's Amada?
It wasn't in his room, so who knows?
Yeah, a very thorough search you did of him there, only checking his room. Surely there aren't 1,000 other places he could possibly be tonight.
Damn it, Shinji, where are you?
I think we should hurry. They look like they're about to make their move.
All right, let's decide on a team and engage the enemy.
Thankfully, they're not going to attack us until we organize our party. How polite of them. And yeah, first time seeing this area in the dark hour, outside of Bookworm's used books and Wild Duck Burger, and the takoyaki stand. Can't really examine anything here, but it's kind of interesting to see what this place looks like. Anyway, though, so party composition time. Yukari is someone that I definitely want in. She's resistant to one of the elements we'll be facing in this boss fight. I also want to bring Aigis. I haven't used her for a boss fight in a while, and not having Junpei, she's the next best physical user we have since Shinjiro's absent. Also, her resistance against physical attacks is going to be useful too, since that's also a type of attack we'll be seeing here. And And one final party member slot. Now, again, Junpei is not the best here because he's weak to one of the boss's elements. As much as I'd like for Koromaru to get screen time in a boss fight, he's pretty bad against bosses in general. Akihiko is pretty good for his debuffs, but I used him in the last boss fight. I haven't used, well, actually, I used Mitsuru in the one before. I haven't used Koromaru ever, but again, I just don't think he's that great for boss fights. Koromaru hasn't learned Masuku Kaja yet, has he? No, next is Fire Boost. In fact, yeah, he's a long way off getting Masuku Kaja then. Mitsuru, on the other hand, well, she doesn't quite have Mind Charge, but, I'm gonna bring her this time. So, and I just realized Gary Stu just made an all-girls team, he's certainly gonna like that. Also, I should mention, I did actually switch around some equipment. I did this all off-camera back in Tartarus, because I didn't want to spoil the party members that wouldn't be involved in this fight. So, Yukari has Ken's gigantic armor because it has the exact same bonus that her old armor had. It's just better in terms of defense. I did give Junpei the Mikazuchi Munechika, even though I'm not actually going to be using him in this fight. Just, you know, to save me doing it later. And as for Mitsuru, I went and gave her the extra scrap that I found in Tartarus, as well as giving her better armor, because, yeah, I did not want her in a bikini in this fight. No, we can't wait, and Aegis, I'm pretty sure that I have the best stuff on Aegis at the moment. Let me see. Yeah, that's good, and Evader Lek is great, and, the Orgon Rifle is also great, and the Berserker Seal is also great. So yeah, her equipment's fine. So, once we cross the threshold here, we'll be fighting. So, let's go. 2 full moon bosses. Let's take them both out, and there'll be only one left. And then very soon, the Dark Hour will be gone. Right in front of the station.
I'll keep you informed. Please be careful.
Let's go. And so it's time to fight Strength and Fortune. The next 2 full moon shadows. Or rather, it's time to just fight Strength.
I don't detect the Fortune one anymore. The Strength one must have done something.
So,
You can't attack it right now. Concentrate on the one whose Arcana is Strength.
as Fuka brings up, this is a pretty unique dual boss battle. In effect, it's basically 2 solitary boss battles. We can only target Strength now. Fortune is not even considered a target. So, let's scan, obviously.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Not that it's really all that important. And at this point, okay, I'm going to assign Tactics. Yukari is going to be on healing duty.
Alright.
In general, you want someone to be ready with Mediarama in this fight when you can. Now, I do have on several personas here, so that's pretty much fine. Everyone else, I'm fine going on the offensive. I don't think Mitsuru is going to... She might try and Naren Karen. Anyway, we'll see. So what I like to do with this boss is, I like to buff the party. Now that we have access to a lot of full party buffs, so you have Maraku Kaja, you have Masuku Kaja, and it's going to be kind of bad to use you later in the fight. I might as well get you out of the way now. Because at the moment we don't have to worry too much about wind attacks. As you might guess, Fortune uses wind, as most Fortune personas do. But Fortune's pretty much out of the fight at this point. It's mainly Strength, and of course Strength is going to be focusing on physical attacks. Got that Wizard's Mark working on Yukari there. These bosses are quite beefy in terms of HP. In fact, this can actually be one of the more difficult full moon boss
Light
fights.
won't work on the enemy.
As always, yeah, Captain Obvious Fuka. But here's the thing, Strength, as you'd probably think, focuses mostly on physical skills. That's pretty much it, although it does have a few dangerous status effects like Naren Karen. I feel like it doesn't tend to use those that often though. So really, just make sure you can endure physical attacks, and just keep on hitting it. Now, because it uses physical attacks, Revolution is a very bad idea, and in fact, Revolution's an even worse idea here, for reasons that you might be seeing eventually.
What is this? Roulette?
Okay then, weirdly enough, this roulette did not actually show up before my practice run. So, we've got attack up, attack down, defense up, or defense down. So let's see. I mean, surely this is totally random, right? Right? Well, now. Okay. Oh, that was close. So, blue is good for you, red is bad for you. We hit blue, we all got an attack buff. Okay, Temper Slash is kind of fine.
That wheel's effects depend on where it stops.
So, herein lies the main gimmick of this fight, the Wheel of Fortune.
Red is bad luck. I hope it doesn't come up.
You hope, huh? Here's the thing though, the Wheel of Fortune isn't as random as it might look. As I kind of implied, there is a trick to it. I'll talk about that the next time the wheel comes up. So we've already buffed our attack. Originally I was going to go to Okuninushi and start attack buffing, but I don't need to do that anymore. So rather than, in fact, you know, I could have stayed on Narasima, but these two both have the same strength stat. So I'm going to go for some power charge mighty swings now. Yeah, okay, good, she's healing me too. You want to stay pretty well healed in this fight. Screwing up the Wheel of Fortune can result in very bad things happening, while the wheel is relatively easy to manipulate if you know how. As you can see there, I only just barely landed on blue. Sometimes things can end very, very badly if it lands on red, so you gotta be careful. So, here comes wheel number 2. What we got here? We have the buff roulette again. So there are various different effects, and believe me, we'll be seeing a lot of them over the course of this fight, because you will be seeing this attack many, many, many times. So, the trick to this attack is, you want to press X to stop the wheel when the option that you want is very slightly to the left of the very top. So, I want blue defense up, so, now. Oh, was I too? Okay, I just barely got it, okay. So, once you practice it enough, you can pretty consistently get the timing right. Annoyingly though, the very, very long Wheel of Fortune animation will keep playing. I just realized I have null distress on one of my personas. Okay, I guess being distressed is kind of bad because that means increased chance of criticals, but I do not want to waste my power charge mighty swing, so I'm going to go for that now. Mighty swing! Nice one.
Hang in there.
So thankfully, Yukari can cure this, which is awesome.
Summoning persona.
And another reason why you want to be healed constantly is you want to keep your physical damage dealer's HP healthy. I'm liking this damage output of Mitsu with Varuna braces. Will get even better once she learns Mind Charge. And once again, let's spin the Wheel of Fortune. The animation is very long and I kind of wish there was a way to skip it. Okay, this is the wheel that I see most commonly. So, the one that you want to avoid is the big red damage one. That's very bad. And in fact, I'm going to specifically go for the small damage just to avoid possibly hitting the big damage. So, now, I might have been a bit too late. Okay, I was right. Good. And that is a flat 100 damage to the enemy. The reason why you want to avoid the red big damage is a flat 200 damage to your entire party is very bad. Very, very bad. Okay, my buff's gone, but I have to wait a turn for it to go away on the rest of the party before I can reapply it, and that'll mean that soon the attack buff is going to go too. So, do I switch back to Kavati? I might actually do that. Do you have... Huh, ironically you have Eerie Sound. 2 distress characters. I kind of want to cure both of them. At this point, I've got a lot of Patrick gems, I think. Let me see how many of these I have. I'm already pretty much down the bottom. So let's see, where are they? Here we go. Okay, I got a lot of those. Oh, it affects everyone! That's awesome. Forgot about that. So, Yukari doesn't need to waste her turn using that, which means that she can heal Igus, which she's most certainly gonna do. Yeah, next turn I'll rebuff this. And yes, the red big damage is the reason why you want to be ready with Mediarama, if possible. Because, like I said, a flat 200 damage on your whole party is really bad. That can result in things going south very quickly if you accidentally hit that one. So in general, I mean, and a flat 200 damage on the enemy is actually not that bad. So, I mean, not that bad for them. So, I'd rather avoid that. Huh, okay, the attack buff is going to be useless, and the defense buff is going to be useless. This wheel is entirely useless, thanks a lot. Or, so here's the one time we're landing on... Wait a minute. If red's bad... Okay, I'm actually not sure if red attack down affects us or the enemy. I'm gonna, just in case, I'm just gonna go for a useless buff here. Now. Oh, I was way off, wasn't I? Okay, I was slightly on. Okay. Oh, hey, does that reapply it or not? I'm not sure, actually. Okay. That's somewhat painful, but not really all that bad. So, I believe my Masuhikaja wore off, so let's put that... Oh, I'm currently on my Rakukaja. I used the wrong persona. My Rakukaja's good for this fight too, but... you know Masuhikaja's never actually worked for me yet, but at least it means that we're not missing attacks on the boss.
Hang in there.
Might seem like I'm being kind of passive in this fight, but I like buffing the whole party. Igus and Mitsuru are dealing quite a lot of damage. So I guess now I should take this time to talk about the symbolism of the Strength boss. So the Strength Arcana represents mostly strength of heart, and also bravery and fortitude. Now, if a certain thing shows up on the Wheel of Fortune, we'll see why this thing represents the reverse of that. And you are giving me the buff wheel a lot. It's kind of funny, because when I first did this fight, I never even saw the buff wheel. I'm going to go for the defense buff. Let's see. Now. I might be very slightly out of sync with when I say now, depending on how this video comes out, but I hope I'm giving a right indication. Basically, very slightly to the left of the top of the wheel is where you want to, is when you want to press X. Oh no. Oh, okay then. Right, we are curing that right now. That does not dispel charm, however, Umugi water, no it doesn't, Rita water does. And I'm going to go straight for that. We are not having people heal the boss. So, yeah, back to the symbolism of it. It's fitting that the Strength Shadow Boss fights with Fortune, because it represents the card itself showing a female figure taming a beast. Fortune here represented as a Sphinx, which is actually part of the Fortune card in Tarot and some of the decks. But, in a way, instead of having a good relationship with this beast, it's kind of like Fortune is being shoved aside while Strength does all the fighting on its own. It's kind of just only out for itself. Huh, there's a tiny damage thing. I haven't seen that before. Okay, I think I'm going to go for small blue damage again. So, wait for it. Now. Okay then. In fact, that could have risked landing on big red damage there, which would have been bad. Kind of wish there was a way to skip the Wheel of Fortune animation, as it does get pretty long as the fight goes on. And nope. Okay, so I'm currently still at... Okay, so the buff does reapply with the buff wheel, which is normally not how buffs work in this game. I guess I'll go back to trying the power charge. Yeah, we're everything buffed at the moment. So, there's one wheel in particular that I really want to show up, because it's actually a big part of not only this fight's symbolism, but one of the most well-known of the things about this fight.
Initiating summon sequence.
But yeah, this thing is also takes the form of pretty much a giant... Okay, this is important.
I summoned thee!
That didn't take it out.
So, something that I want to mention now is that
Finish it off.
strength is immune to knockdowns. Kind of interesting among full moon bosses, but yeah, it is. So that's why Revolution is a bad idea. It'll only help strength. So I'm going to go for HP recovery. Okay, I think I may have been too early with that. If I miss it, oh wow, okay, right. I landed on very small damage band, which means it's probably going to be 50 to everyone. Yeah, that's nothing. That's fine. I don't really care about that. So yeah, I was way too early there. But we are all pretty much... Okay, there goes the attack buff. Right before I was about to use my power charge attack too. I keep getting interrupted when I try and talk about this thing's symbolism, but basically, yeah. The sort of spiky fence and those rose bouquet, it could be a reference to roses having their thorns. Namely, this shadow appearing to be fair and innocent, but actually only being out for its own gain.
Hang in there!
And again, that thing about strength representing bravery and fortitude hasn't shown off why that's relevant here yet. I'll talk about fortune symbolism a bit later. We haven't actually officially started fighting it yet. I still love how fortune is like face palming when it's on low health. It gets funnier if a certain thing happens in this fight, but the wheel hasn't actually shown yet. Are you dead? You are not quite dead yet. You know what would be really ironic if this actually finished it off? What do we got here? Aha! This is the thing that I was wanting! The status wheel! So, wheel of status, turn, turn, turn. How will we screw the boss over now? So, this is the most famous thing about this fight. We've got rage, we've got panic, we've got distress, and we have fear. Obviously, well, I mean, probably won't be obvious yet, but I'm going to go for fear, even though it probably won't have that much of an effect. Okay, wait for it. Oh, I might have been too late. I might have been too late. I think I got it. I got it. Okay, good. I got it. So, this is one of the few bosses in the game that is susceptible to fear status. Representing the reverse strength arcana, which represents bravery and fortitude. Ahaha, you don't have that. So, fear makes it heavily susceptible to criticals. It's immune to knockdown, but it will still take heavy damage now. But, here's where the really famous thing about this fight comes in. So, remember how I spent all that time and effort fusing Neburos before? It happened a bit too late into the fight. It really depends on when the status wheel shows up. At this point, strength is pretty much gone anyway, so I don't feel too cheap about doing this. Originally, I was going to not do this and save it for bonus footage, but like I said, strength is pretty much dead anyway. It doesn't feel too cheap. So, instantly kills one foe who is fearful, right? Surely that doesn't work on bosses, right? Right? Well... Goodbye, strength. Yes, this boss is susceptible to instant death. The only boss in the game that is. But only if you manage to hit...
I detect fortune again, so you can attack that one now.
But only if you can manage to hit fear on the wheel. Because the thing is, the boss's immunity to ghastly well in this game mostly comes from their immunity to fear. This boss is not immune to fear, and so it's susceptible to it. Now, again, it really depends on when in the fight the fear roulette shows up. I got unlucky there and it showed up later, but if you get fear to show up early, you can potentially shorten the length of this fight by even half. Anyway, Fortune is susceptible to attacks now. Of course, it's still going to go for the Wheel of Fortune. And it's the Wheel of Buffs this time. I forgot if my attack buff were off or not, but it doesn't actually matter. I can reapply it here. So I'm going to go for the attack buff. I might have been a bit too early. Oh, I was way too early. Oh, I was way too early. Doesn't matter, I can cancel this out. I was way too early. I'm getting a little bit nervous here.
Defense weakened. Please be careful. Give me a second.
Okay, I'll
scan
go
the
ahead and
target.
scan Fortune, even though it's not all that important. So, I have... Okay, that's Dekaja. Do I have Dekunda on anyone here? I have Dekunda Gem, so it's pretty much fine. Rakunda... What do I got? Oh, wow, Rakandra. Oh, wow, that's a bad... Yeah. I'll talk about Rakandra some other time. It's... Oh, yeah, you don't want to be using that by accident. But, anyway, what do I want here? I can cancel it out with Titania just using regular Rakukaja. You're the one who... No, wait, no, you're the one who has... No, the one who has Rakukaja is Pavati. Or I can use a Dekunda Gem. But I think I'm just going to go with the... I mean, it's not like we're in any danger of running out of SP in this fight. So now that we're facing Fortune, I can talk about the symbolism of Fortune. The reversed Fortune Arcana represents the feeling that you're being led astray by things beyond your control, that fate is going against you. So basically my luck all the time when I play games. But here's the thing. The reverse Fortune Arcana is also a sign that you should...
Light won't work on the enemy.
Obviously, yeah. Is a sign that you should take charge of your own fate and not leave things up to chance. This is shown by the fact that the Wheel of Fortune attack, while it looks random, is actually controllable if you know how. So as long as you take your fate into your own hands, you have nothing to worry about in this fight. Anyway, Fortune uses some wind magic, a few physical attacks, and it mainly likes to use the Wheel of Fortune attack. The wind attacks are the reason why I didn't bring Junpei here. Fortune's mechanical appearance, there's actually a lot of toys that I think kind of look like it, so I can't...
That's just not right.
So yeah, Fortune's getting really desperate now. Here's another thing, another reason why I think that it fits into the reverse Fortune Arcana symbolism. I'll talk about this after, because I kind of need to concentrate here. Okay, I think I got it. Did I get it? Oh, I just barely got it. Good. So that's the thing. When Fortune is cornered, it starts rigging the wheel like that. It makes you panic and think, oh no, fate really is rigged against me. But the timing is still exactly the same. As long as you don't panic and once again, take charge of your own fate, you have nothing to worry about. And that fits into the symbolism of the reverse Fortune Arcana. Let me just check how many buffs I've got in the party. We are all not buffed at all, okay. So I'm going to go for Mataru Kaji here. The other thing about Fortune is, reverse Fortune represents feeling like fate is against you and kind of being cursed, and how no matter what you do, you're at the mercy of forces beyond your control. Here's the thing though, when you think about it, this doesn't actually represent the party, it represents Fortune itself, this boss. Because when you think about it, once the player figures out the trick to the wheel, Fortune itself, try as it might to fight against its own fate, is doomed. It can try to rig the wheel and make it look like you've got a higher chance of hitting bad things. But again, struggle as it might, it cannot change its fate. It is doomed to fall at the hands of us. I might be looking a bit too much into the symbolism here, but I actually personally really like that interpretation.
Initiating summon sequence.
So yeah, really this is basically just a damage. Oh, okay. So, here's something else about this fight.
Let us commence with an all-out attack.
While Strength is immune to knockdown, Fortune is not.
Fatal strike.
And it takes a heck of a lot of damage from all-out attacks as well, so here, Revolution might actually be helpful. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. So I should mention that if the status wheel shows up again, Fortune is vulnerable to fear as well, and is also vulnerable to instant death. If I say that and then the status wheel shows up again, that'll be awesome. Not quite.
Fair.
Okay, so big damage is more, and the damage as well, yeah, our areas are a bit smaller. But the thing is, once again, the timing remains the same. Okay, what's the minimum risk here? I think I'm going to go for the one that risks me hitting small damage, so... Now. Okay, that was probably too early. That was way too early, yeah, okay. So, that is, at the very least, that's not big damage to the party, and thankfully...
Igus is in trouble!
So, with strength gone, the damage to party things are much, much less of a threat than they are normally. Because there's nothing to follow up on your loss of HP. So I can pretty safely just... Am I currently power charged still? I can pretty safely just... Okay, I think Yukari's going to heal next turn. This is a bit of a risk, but I can pretty safely just Mediarama right now, and I don't really need to worry too much. Yukari, please use Mediarama. Okay, Fortune is going down.
In there.
Like I said, it is possible for the status wheel to show up a lot earlier in the fight, and then you can really trivialize this. Don't worry if you don't have a Ghastly Whale persona, because usually fear shows up at the point where you've pretty much already won the fight anyway. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, you're not quite dead. I thought you were for a second, but you are not quite. One last attempt to defy your fate. How will it go? Huh, you know, if this finishes you off, it'd be pretty interesting. Although this is, again, this is a bit trickier, but the timing is still pretty much the same. Okay, I may have been either slightly too early, or am I gonna... Oh, I was very slightly too early! Anyway, yeah, like I said, the timing is still the same. That was very close, though. I was very slightly too early. You want to be just extremely slightly to the left of the top. I mean, it's basically dead anyway, so I don't really care at this point. Poke! Try as you might, you could not challenge your fate. Goodbye, Fortune. Only one to go. And, wow, that's a lot of experience. And we're now up to the level to create 4! Oh, hey, okay, that's because your growth skill. Mabufala, nice. An extra magical skill to use with Mind Charge. Kind of think of it, I think that means that you have everything except Argy. So that's pretty awesome. And Mind Charge.
Good job, everyone.
No, this is going off on a bit of a tangent, but I really like a lot of the higher tier Lovers Arcana personas. The lower tier ones aren't that great, I find, but the higher tier ones, I have a lot of good memories of using them.
Man, talk about exhausting.
And you weren't even in that fight.
This time, those two who call themselves Strega did not interfere.
I guess not. I guess without Chidori, they couldn't pinpoint our location.
It must be because we have Chidori.
And once again, Yukari takes the words right out of my mouth.
Anyway, I'm glad everything went well. But what happened to Shinjiro and Ken?
Yeah, they're still missing. It's a bad sign.
The chairman doesn't seem to be too concerned, so he went home.
Yamagishi, where are those two?
I'm sorry, I haven't been able to locate them yet.
That's a bad sign.
Let's return to the dorm, and then go from there.
Akihiko, do you know something?
Akihiko, are you listening?
Today is October 4th, huh? Just go back without me. I'm gonna go look for them for a while.
Senpai? What's wrong?
Akihiko.
He knows something. Definitely knows something. And 4 is a bad number in Japanese culture.
You came. I'm surprised you abandoned the operation. Do you know why I asked you to meet me here? 2 years ago today, October 4th. That was the day my mom died here. They called it an accident, but it wasn't. I saw the whole thing. You murdered her! Since then, it's been one bad thing after another. And all I get from people is sympathy, no matter where I go. What's the point in living? I even thought about killing myself, but Mom wouldn't have wanted that. That's why I decided that I had to find her killer. You! You said once that you wanted to forget what happened on that day. So when I found out it was a full moon today, I knew I had to confront you. Today, Mom is watching over me. I'll make you remember what you did to her. I'm gonna kill you!